Hey there! If you're running a business in Singapore, you've almost definitely asked yourself this question. How much is a website supposed to cost? The prices seem like they're all over the place. But there is a logic to it. So, in this explainer, we're going to cut right through all that noise and give you a really clear, practical guide. Okay, let's just get right into it. This is the big one, isn't it? It's the question that probably keeps a lot of entrepreneurs up at night. You know you need a professional website, a proper online presence, but you're worried about getting ripped off. And at the same time, you don't want to cheap out and end up with something that just doesn't work. And yeah, here's the confusing part. The price range is just massive. You could be looking at the cost of your daily coffee, or you could be looking at the price of a new car. It's nuts. But the good news is there's a reason for this huge range. We're going to unpack it tier by tier so you know exactly what you're paying for. So let's get straight to the numbers. We're going to look at 4 main tiers of website development. We'll start with the most basic, entry-level option and go all the way up to the really complex stuff, like an online store. First up, the entry level. So for about 1,500 to 2,500 Singapore dollars, you can get yourself a basic one-page website. You can think of this as just your first step, your foundational block in the digital world. And this picture really shows what you get. It's basically a digital business card. It tells people, hey, we exist, and gives them your contact info. But, and trust me, this is a big but, the content on there is going to be pretty thin. And it's definitely not going to be optimized for SEO, search engine optimization, which is how people actually find you on Google. It gives you a presence for sure, but it's not a performance tool. Okay, moving on up. For around $4,000 to $6,000, we step into the world of templated websites. These are often built on a platform like WordPress, and honestly, they're a super popular choice for a lot of growing businesses. Now, the thing about these sites is that they often look fantastic. They use these professional, pre-made themes to get a really polished look. So what's the catch? Well, it's still just a template. It's a one-size-fits-all solution. It wasn't designed with your specific business goals or your unique customers in mind, and that means it can feel pretty restrictive pretty fast. All right, now we're getting into what I like to call the professional sweet spot. For $6,000 to $12,000, maybe more, you're in the world of a custom-designed solution. This is the point where your website stops being a simple brochure and starts becoming a real, hard-working business asset. So, what does custom really mean when you're paying this much? Well, it means an agency is going to spend some serious time on strategy. They're going to dig deep to understand your business, your brand, and your audience. The result isn't just a pretty design, it's a completely bespoke solution built from the ground up to do a specific job, like getting you more leads or phone calls. And finally, we get to the most complex projects. If your business needs something like an e-commerce store, or maybe a custom web application, or a full-on membership site, well, you're going to be looking at a budget that starts at $10,000 and can go well beyond $25,000. Yeah, these projects are just in a different league entirely. You're not just paying for a nice design anymore, you're paying for a highly technical solution. We're talking custom functionality, integrations with things like payment gateways, and the deep, deep expertise you need to build all that from scratch. Okay, so we've covered the price tiers, but who you hire, or whether you decide to do it yourself, has a huge impact on that final number. Let's break down the different options and see how that changes the whole picture. This table kind of breaks down the hourly rates that are behind those project quotes. But here's the key thing to understand. A lower hourly rate does not always mean a lower total cost. An experienced agency charging $150 an hour might finish in 50 hours what a $50 freelancer takes 200 hours to do. You're not just paying for time, you're paying for experience and efficiency. So you really have a choice to make. On one side, you've got the professional agency. They offer a strategic, totally customized approach that's built for growth. On the other side, you've got the DIY builders, like Wix or Squarespace. They have a really low initial cost, which is tempting, but that DIY route comes with hidden costs, your time, your sanity, and you can get trapped on their platform with a site that, let's be honest, kind of looks DIY. And of course, now there's a new player in the game, AI website builders. You've seen the ads, right? Get a full website in 60 seconds. They ask you a few questions and boom, there's a website. They're pretty impressive, but are they actually right for a serious business? Let's get real for a second. With AI builders, you're still locked into their platform. The content that AI writes is super generic, which Google is getting really good at spotting and penalizing. And you will hit a wall with customization fast. You have to remember this. AI makes good developers faster, but it doesn't make average developers good. For a business that actually needs to grow, these limits are a very serious problem. So all of this brings us to what I think is the most important mindset shift. You have to stop thinking about your website as just another cost, another line item on a spreadsheet, and start seeing it as a strategic investment in your business's future. I absolutely love this quote because it applies perfectly to your website. Don't build a site that just reflects where your business is today. Build a site for the business you want to become. Spend a little more at the start to get the foundation right, and I promise you, you will reap the rewards down the line. At the end of the day, a great website always starts with a great plan. Before you spend a single dollar, you need to define your goals, really understand your audience, plan your content, and make sure the design works on all devices and is built for search engines from day one. You know the old saying, failing to plan is planning to fail. And that's really what I want to leave you with. When you're looking at your budget, ask yourself this one question. Are you just paying an expense? Or are you hiring your hardest working employee? One that works 24/7, never calls in sick, and whose only job is to find you customers, make sales, and build your brand. The choice, really, is yours.